All right, guys, welcome back to the channel. It's been a while. It's been a long winter, a lot of snow. And we haven't had much opportunity at all to ride yet this season, but we're planning to. We hope to be getting some good content to you soon. Today I'm here with Shane. You guys know him, and but he picked up some LED lights to replace the stock halogen ones that are in here. And so our goal today is to do an install, kind of show how we do it. Shane will talk a little bit about the lights themselves and why he chose these as opposed to, you know, some other ones. And so we'll just kind of dive in, go from there.
So these are a Auxito headlight, LED headlight from designed for motorcycles. I wanted something that would be compatible with the existing wiring of the bike, and didn't want to go too much over stock and have problems with wiring and melting down or overheating or what have you. So I chose these Auxito lights. I've seen other YouTubers put them in bikes, motorcycles and stuff, so I think they should work. I know that the existing ones are called HS1 lights, and these are going to be an H4, so they should be very compatible. There's probably a small difference, but
like these are rated, the stock ones are, you said 35
watts. These are going to be 22, so they should be fine that way. They do make bigger and better, brighter LED lights, but again, they pull more wattage, and I didn't want to have some problems with wiring and stuff, so I just went with these, and we'll see how they go. If they work, great. If not,
we can always try something else.
Figure something else out.
One of the other considerations Shane mentioned to me as he was telling me about these is that if you go the next step up kind of from these, or at least one of the steps up, they're actually made for like Tacomas and Forerunners or something.
Yeah.
And they come, when you buy them, you got to buy two. And in this case, you really just need one for the pod, one for each of the grills. So you'd have an extra, I guess, if you went that way. So that you can get just what you need. And we hope these are good enough. So.
Some of these have fans built on the back to keep them cool if they're putting out a lot of lumens. But on these, you've got a dust cover that comes on the back of it, and if you put that boot over the fan, it's not going to fit, and it'd burn up, and it just wouldn't work. So these should do the job.
Yeah. So Shane, he mainly says he doesn't ride as much at night as probably I do in the hunting realm, but he does push snow in the driveway a lot and just wants a little extra light. For me, we sometimes don't get back to the quads until well after dark, and then we're going out in pitch dark, so any extra light's always going to be welcome in that situation. So I'm excited to see how these go.
Anything's got to be better than these halogens. They just are worthless. Yeah. It's funny that they put an LED in the back, but they don't put anything up front.
I know. And, you know, that going back and forth, I've mentioned some things that the Grizzly does and the King Quad doesn't do. They're similar machines, but that is one where the Grizzly has a combination in the front. I think this one, if I remember right, is halogen, and the ones there are LED, so theirs is weird too. It's not straight LED all the way across. So anyway, we'll see how this goes, and we'll do an update too after they've been in a while. We've had an opportunity to use them and see how they hold up and what we think. All right, so we decided we're going to tackle what we think is going to be the hardest one, this light pod first. There's definitely more to it. So I'm going to kind of run the camera so you can see, and Shane's going to start doing what we think. We're both beginners at this, but I think we got it.
I've had this off before. When I put on the heated grips, I came in and tied into the electrical underneath here. So they've been off before, but it's just a couple of bolts and stuff. First thing we want to do is take this little push pin out, and we don't want to drop it and lose it.
Let me see that tool you got, Shane. Is yours? I bought one of those, and mine is so thick. I'm trying to get my finger in here, see if it'll focus, but mine's thicker and doesn't get under those very good. Do you like this one?
It just came in a very cheap package with literally
kit for that stuff.
Several hundred push pins and a couple of these little tools here.
It works decent. That one pulled out right away. I always, you know, flare them out and ruin them.
These are in there pretty light. Okay, so there's that, and then there's going to be two Phillips.
Couple screws on the other side.
Yep.
Let's see where these are, right? So I get in here. Lighting's not the best, but you can see where he's getting those out. Phillips on this, so
Yeah.
pretty easy.
Okay, now there's one more push pin.
Where's it at?
And I've
Oh, that's way up under
I've
there. I see it though.
broke that before to come out.
I can see it that there's a seam, so it does look like that center part. That's like you're above it and pulling the whole anchor out.
Yeah, but
That looks right there.
there we go.
Now you got her.
Let's see. Probably go back to.
Okay, he's got that bottom one's a little tougher to get out.
Like I say, that's not stock. That was something that I put in.
Oh, so that whole anchor is different than the original.
Yeah, I think I broke it trying to get it out before when I put in the grips.
Okay, so that's all of them. Again, push pin on this side, right here, one on the opposite side, 2 Phillips screws up here, and that one anchor that's right down there. So take all those off.
This should.
There it comes. So that kind of almost unhinged at the bottom, looks like, huh?
Yeah, I think there's just a couple of places maybe where it snaps together. I can't remember for sure.
Oh, there she goes. Try to keep that from. Oops. There we are.
Okay, so that pops off and the front pops off. And
So did you kind of find what it was hanging on, Shane, do you think?
It's this little plastic nub that
Okay.
goes in underneath the headlight that's got a little.
So that had to pull out like
And I
that.
thought it did.
Pull
I just
out.
couldn't remember. I just didn't want to
Okay.
break it.
So you would reach in right down here and pull out
Correct.
is
Yep,
what
right
we'll
at the
do.
bottom.
Okay.
We'll just set these down here.
So that's out, off and out of the road.
Yeah. It's going to be a metric 4.
Size 4.
Tray that works pretty good there.
Yeah, this is the custom built-in hardware holder.
Okay, so now this display, it's dirty, but it's going to have another couple of those.
Those little spikes, basically. It looks pretty rubber mounted to keep vibration down, huh?
Yep.
Is that all that it is, Shane? I've never opened mine. Oh yeah,
Just like that.
they're basically little plastic stakes that go into these. So he just kind of got his fingers up under there, moved it back and forth, unwedged it.
Okay, so
And then there's the light socket part, basically.
here's your socket. So we'll just undo that. And
Okay.
so you've got the,
Yeah.
I guess the oddball,
Little
the top
three-way.
one. Yeah, the top one's going to be on the top there. So now we've got a rubber boot. So there is kind of a
Pull this down out of the
There's a
road.
pull tab underneath here. You can kind of see.
Oh yeah, I see it.
Sitting up on top.
Let's see. Yep, your finger's pushing it down there.
So
Reaching up, grabbing that pull tab,
just grab
pull
that
out
rubber
and back.
boot there, and that just comes off.
And it's oriented. It says top.
It even says
whatever.
top
Yep.
on there. Okay, so now you've got the actual headlight, and it's just going to be spring loaded. It's just under a little tension with this wire. You just release it like this.
Push that up, that
And then
slides out of the road, and there it is.
pull it out. A lot of work for just a little guy, but we just wanted to show
Oh yeah, the comparison.
the comparison. So
Oh, quite different looking, aren't they? Whoops, let me back out a little.
a little bit, yeah.
So left hand, move that one around, Shane, for a sec. That's your stock.
Stock
One on the
halogen.
right, obviously, is the LED. Quite different looking.
Yep.
And it'll only go in one way, looks like. Yeah,
Yeah.
like that. So that's the top
That's
with that single
That's your
prong.
prongs, yep. So
Okay.
we'll see if this other guy will fit back in here. Okay.
So wire clip, spring loaded, and hold it right back in
there,
place. That's
yep.
pretty easy. So
In
you get a
fact-
good look at it right there. Awesome. So that's in. Just rehook the connector.
Yep.
Oh, we gotta put the boot on.
Let's put this on. There's some light there. Now this might be a little bit tricky. I think I saw in another video that the
to feed that tab up in.
Yeah,
first.
I think the diameter of this outside
is bigger.
Light is a little bit bigger than this one, and so this was quite snug.
Okay. All right, guys, we got this boot back on. It's a little bit of a trick because if you pull this off, that boot like we had off a minute ago, put your new bulb in, reclip the little retainer spring that keeps the light bulb in place, then this boot's got to go back up over that whole housing. And so we were trying to figure out how it went, and then we realized by looking up here that right in here, let me get this wire out of the way, you kind of see where, right, boy, hard to get anything in there. Right down there on that seam, let me just use a screwdriver to point, Shane. Okay, and see if we can get it, that wiring. So there's, you can see this ridge. Let me back up so it can focus. There's a ridge right here, and then you can see the dark boot behind it that I'm tapping. There's a piece of this, the mounting flange that goes that way, and that's the rubber boot that gets pulled up over it. And we knew we needed to go up over it because see how this is all dusty? Underneath there, it was dark and clean, and you could tell it had been covered. And so we knew...
We were trying to put it on the inside. It needs to go on the outside.
Yeah, so that little boot, that rubber boot, which from this side is right here, it has to go up. It goes out and around. And so we use this screwdriver right here just to kind of lift it around. And we were using it from this side, you know, poking the screwdriver in with this side. And then somebody on the back, you might be able to do it with one hand, kind of push with a finger or a hand on this side, and then work the lip of that.
You may not have all this wiring up.
Yeah, we did figure out that is his heated grips, we think. So you probably won't have this, and so that'll be up out of your road, and you'll be able to see in there a little better. But it's really not a problem.
So
it
then
just
once it's on, then
time.
That just goes right back on.
So
there
click on that auxiliary or whatever. We just did one more, or it's actually one more. But I mean, you can see that's really bright coming out. We'll do a test for sure, but it's working. It seems to be good.
Yeah,
that was pretty easy.
Test it before you start putting it back together.
Yeah, definitely do that. It would suck to have to tear that apart again. But anyway, so I didn't look at the time, but I think we had 8 minutes on the first clip. This is 2 minutes, about 10 minutes or so. What's that little gasket, Shane, that just come off, and what would we need to know about that?
Probably wouldn't be bad if we cleaned it. That's just your gasket around your electronics.
Okay. All right, so again, you got those two little stakes. They mount up just with some positive pressure. You can hear it audibly click in. You can feel it click in. And
then we've got to
take that size 4 metric Allen head, whatever you call those. Snug that up.
Okay, that's done.
You're not allowed to have dust on there, Shane.
Yeah. A little dirty.
All right, now
Okay.
put the sandwich back together.
So that will just
looks
seat.
like you will make sure that right there is not getting folded over.
Yeah,
that gasket looks good
like,
here. How about there? It looks good. Okay.
So we just lost our screwdriver.
And then this one again, here's that stake that when we were originally pulling it off, he wasn't quite sure where it was fastened, couldn't remember, but it's right down there in the bottom. That's gonna go right down into that hole. And so
Also notice that this is going to be this kind of two pieces that's sandwiched together. It's going to come off as one. In order to get it apart, you're going to have to pull these screws here. So
to disassemble that further,
yeah, don't be trying to separate this from each other, else you will break it.
Yeah, that just all comes off. It's two pieces, but it comes off as one. So you're gonna get that little stake in the bottom end. And you can see these little openings here. there's got to be some teeth that go down in those, Shane. See those 3 little holes?
Yeah, that's what I was trying to separate before. It was causing us havoc.
Oh, I heard it go. Okay. Just kind of lined them up, kept pushing and getting the angles just right, and all of a sudden it clicked right in. So that's no big problem. Okay, so we'll replace these 2 Phillips head screws.
Snug. So there's that.
Finish it off with these.
These 2 guys here. I'll come over.
One on the other side.
You got the one on the bottom.
Oh, that's right, the one that's up under. All right, we were struggling getting that last little one in. Again, we broke the original one, or Shane did when he was doing it before to do the heated grips. But anyway, we got it back.
It's in there. Yep.
It's in, done. So just a simple push pin.
Okay, let's go to the front then.
All right, so we're up under the front left fender, and we're gonna pull the outside boot off of this light. That's okay. I think I can see good without it.
Okay.
When your hand's in there, it makes a big shadow, but right there I can see really good. Okay.
So.
And then that's a secondary boot.
That's a secondary boot. Comes off. There we go. So these have got wires for your headlights that.
Yeah. So be careful not to pull at the bottom.
You're gonna reach in and just unplug the coupler. Maybe.
Well, you've got your little spring.
I know. I just wanted this plastic guy off the. There we go.
Oh, I see. Yeah, that.
So now you release the tension like we did before, and this guy's gonna just fall out. So just like
again, the top prong.
I think that's in.
There it goes.
Okay.
Then you just square up the rubber boot.
Okay.
I feel like it's.
There it goes.
Oh, did it kind of push in and sink?
Yep.
Okay, once you get your hand out of there, Shane, I want to get another picture of it real quick.
You just have to kind of mess with it and make sure that it goes probably over another inner circle there that seals it up really good.
Once it does, it goes in and point to it. You can kind of see this outer flange, it's in there a good bit. So it's sunk, it's recessed in there. And that's how that one goes. Then the outer dust cup, or whatever you want to call it. Did that have, it looks like it has 4 tabs on it. I don't see anything that says.
There's some writing on it, but it's
not, it doesn't say top or anything. So
PDM. So I don't know that it matters.
I don't see it that it would matter
on
at
this
all.
one, just so that it's.
I've pulled those off accidentally when I'm cleaning mine. You square those back up. Those tabs could help you to grab and pull them forward onto.
Yeah. So anyway,
that's it.
We're good.
Okay, and then you duplicate on the other side. Okay, so we're doing our night test. This is both of the bikes side by side, same distance. On the left is mine with the stock, and on the right is Shane's with high beams. Okay, crank them both up. Yeah, we'll go high beams on both. Yeah, I do high beams on both. There's high on mine, and there's high on Shane's. So, not sure how good that comes through, but you can get an idea. Now I'll go and we'll see what it's shining on. Okay, right now I'm standing right between the bikes. They're running. We wanted them running so that we're not going off a battery. Anyway, so that's Shane's on high beams. So now he'll turn his off. Go turn mine on. That's the same image. Mine on high. Do that again. That's pretty drastic, at least on here. Okay. Back to Shane's. Those new LEDs. Definitely the fence is a whole lot brighter. Alright, one more time, back to the other. Sorry for the dark spell between, but gotta run over. Yeah, that's a huge difference. So as long as they hold up good, I think this is gonna be well worth it. Well, that's it for now, guys. I'll be doing this upgrade to mine soon. Thanks for watching.